This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Tonight, eviction deadline. Residents of 5 tent encampments in HRM are told to leave by today, but some still remain.
Legislation scrapped. Despite 3 rounds of public consultation, the Houston government will not proclaim the Coastal Protection Act.
And
can't believe someone stole our car.
How prayers, Facebook friends, and orange rims help find this stolen car.
A nice Tuesday shaping up across the province with lots of sunshine, but our next system rolling in for Wednesday with more wet weather. Your full forecast is coming up.
Good evening. It is eviction day for 5 tent encampments in Halifax.
The sites were expected to close today as the municipality says better options are now available inside.
But as Nicholas Seguin reports, some people are staying put in their tents.
A deadline passed and tents still standing. Even as protesters gathered in support, the day was peaceful with no forced evictions. But many of the people still living here feel like they have nowhere to go.
Definitely not going into a shelter. And really don't feel safe.
These 5 parks were supposed to be vacated by today, though there are beds reserved at the Halifax Forum shelter for people leaving the encampments. Some are staying where they are or moving their tents somewhere else.
This is people's lives that we're talking about here. The shelter is an emergency situation. For a night or two, it's not a place to be residing.
I've heard stories about the shelters, people, not, having their stuff stolen and a lot of drug issues.
On Friday, the municipality estimated 30 people were still living in the de-designated encampments. Some have accepted beds indoors over the past few weeks, but some are still waiting.
If another option was available that had that privacy and had that dignity, absolutely people would want to go there. We want that for people. We want people to be indoors. We want people to be safe and warm.
Officials from the province say they know the Forum shelter isn't ideal for everyone, but it could be better than the risks of sleeping outside in the winter.
Not all options will fit each individual circumstances. So that's why, looking at what the model is, what a person's needs are. And at the end of the day, we can't compel folks to come in.
Lee says outreach workers are meeting with encampment residents daily. The municipality says one encampment has already been emptied and fenced off for remediation. And for the rest of the parks, both levels of government say they'll work with residents to find the best way to get them inside. Nicholas Seguin, CBC News, Halifax.
Several service providers have been visiting the encampment sites today to offer help to those being told to leave their tents. Marie-France LeBlanc of the North End Community Health Centre says they will try to follow the evicted tenters wherever they choose to go.
So as an organization, we'll continue to provide health supports to those experiencing homelessness, whether they're in an encampment or not. So we have our regular schedule that we're maintaining, but over the next couple of days, we're going to be kind of circling around the various encampments that are being closed to make sure that those residents, as they're moving on, make contact with us and let us know what they need and where they're planning to be so that we can continue to provide them the supports that they need.
I'll talk to Marie-France LeBlanc about trying to meet the needs of those being evicted from the tent encampments. That's our Newsmaker interview just after 6:30.
Opposition parties and environmental groups alike criticized the Nova Scotia government today after it announced that after 5 years after it passed with all-party support, it would not proclaim the Coastal Protection Act. Michael Gorman reports.
Since becoming the Environment Minister in 2021, Tim Hallman has missed multiple self-imposed deadlines to proclaim the Coastal Protection Act. Today, Hallman made clear what many have suspected for more than a year. The legislation is dead in the water. Hallman says lots has changed since 2019 when the bill was first passed, and he says that the necessary tools are in place to help fight climate change without being prescriptive about how people use and develop their coastal property.
What we need to do is to set Nova Scotians up for success and make sure that we support informed decision making so that as they make a decision about their property, they have the most up-to-date information about the hazards and risks.
Rather than proclaiming the Coastal Protection Act, today the minister released a new online mapping tool. It allows anyone to go online and see what the prospective worst-case scenario is for sea level rise for a piece of property along Nova Scotia's coast. The province is also providing resources to help people use that map, and it'll provide resources to municipalities to help them develop their own bylaws to govern land use development. The province also released today a guide for people for how they can safeguard and protect their own property. They'll tell you in that guide that you shouldn't put armor stone along their property, but they won't say that you cannot do it. Opposition MLAs say that amounts to a cop-out by Hallman and his government and downloading responsibility on homeowners and municipalities.
We just got through a year where we had the worst flooding in modern history, the worst wildfires in modern history, and the worst snowfalls in the last couple of decades. So to sit there and say, oh yeah, all those things are happening, but municipalities, you deal with it and figure it out, is just a pretty pathetic response to an issue.
This is deeply disturbing. So they're abandoning Nova Scotians, they're abandoning municipalities. We have really no plan on how we're going to protect our coastline.
The president of Nova Scotia's Federation of Municipalities say councils were hoping for a provincially coordinated effort and that would have been easier than leaving it up to each individual municipality to do this work. Carolyn Bolivar-Getson says that if the province wants municipalities to take the lead, it's going to need to provide more money, particularly for small units that lack the staff and resources to do this work on their own. Michael Gorman, CBC News, Halifax.
All three political parties in the Nova Scotia legislature are focused on the need to help people struggling as a result of inflation in the upcoming spring sitting. MLAs return to Province House starting tomorrow. The governing PCs are planning to introduce a budget on Thursday. PC House Leader Kim Maslin says that budget will include ways to keep Nova Scotia more in Nova Scotians' pockets. Liberal leader Zach Churchill is pushing for a 2 percentage point cut in the HST from 15% down to 13%. Meanwhile, NDP leader Claudia Chender is calling for a universal food program in school.
We think a sales tax cut helps the broadest amount of people. You know, we have working class and middle class people who aren't eligible for government supports and who are feeling the financial squeeze right now with their property taxes going up, with the cost of goods and services going up, with power rates going up. And we also need to provide some support to those folks.
School food is very high on our agenda. I'm just back from Cape Breton, where 27% of kids in Cape Breton are living in poverty and don't have access to healthy food. A school food program is an idea whose time has come. It's one the government is committed to. We understand they have the plans to do it. It's time that we see it.
Opposition parties say the government also needs to come up with a housing plan that actually delivers more housing that people can afford.
Before a major storm hits, Canadians are asked to prepare for at least 72 hours. But is that guidance enough? The CBC's Aaron Potty looks at where that number comes from and whether or not it should be revisited.
Nowadays, Glenda McCauley is able to get to her barn to feed her horses. But over the last few weeks, that wasn't always the case. The Caribou Marsh senior and her wife were recently snowed in at their rural home after a record-breaking snowfall in Cape Breton.
Two of these are big, heavy horses and easily could bring the barn down if they got restless or panicky. But I opened the door and they were just standing here, like as they usually do, waiting for their breakfast.
McCauley was stocked up on hay, feed, and food, and a wood stove kept her warm. But she ended up running out of one necessary supply.
So I was a week without medication. And people would offer to bring it, but they couldn't get up the driveway.
McCauley now wants governments to re-examine their advice leading up to major storms.
I think that 72 hours really isn't long enough. I mean, you see how fast 72 hours passes when, like, our just recent experiences. Like, we were stuck here for almost, the best part of 2 weeks, really, before we could live normally.
A Dalhousie University professor specializing in emergency preparedness says the minimum 72-hour guidance is problematic. He says some events last longer than 3 days, and not everyone has the time, money, or ability to prepare.
The question is, is 72 hours really an appropriate benchmark by which people should sort of think about being able to look after themselves? So I think that's a question. I'm not sure the government has asked it all that much, but I think they should ask themselves this question.
Government officials say 72 hours is the estimated time it would take emergency responders to reach someone in need. The messaging was established in 2006 by Public Safety Canada. Both Nova Scotia and Ottawa say there are currently no plans to change the 3-day minimum guidance. Instead, they encourage people to prepare themselves for longer periods when possible, and based on the individual needs of each household. Erin Potty, CBC News, Caribou Marsh.
Yeah, they'll be talking about that winter weather in Cape Breton for a little while to come. And nice to see Ryan here with some better weather in the forecast.
Yes, and thankfully pretty quiet today.
Yeah, and quiet again tomorrow as well, Tom and Amy. Thank you so much. Again, we're looking at sunshine and temperatures on the rise. A few flurries mixed with a few showers out there right now, thanks to this low sailing off to our north. Those pass through this evening, and then we're clearing on the other side of this for tomorrow. And a pretty nice day. We're starting to tap into a southerly flow ahead of our next storm. And this will be a significant event for the Maritimes, although a little different than the last one in terms of where we'll see the heaviest rainfall. The warm air really surging up ahead of this system. And yeah, again, tapping into it somewhat tomorrow. Temperatures near 4 or 5 degrees across Cape Breton. Most of the mainland will be in the 6, 7, 8 degree range. Could even crack double digits in the valley tomorrow. Certainly not out of the question with southwest winds 20 gusting to 40. So as we walk you through this timeline, you can see lots of sunshine in the mix. We will see some clouds tomorrow, building clouds tomorrow night, and then we're watching that wet weather coming in. That will really ramp up throughout the day on Wednesday with showers turning to then steadier periods of rain Wednesday night, and that's when we're really going to see the strongest winds as well, gusting 70, possibly even 80 kilometers per hour. And then a very similar setup to the last setup where we have these periods of rain. The cold front comes through. We go from a southerly wind to a west and then northwest wind. Temperatures will tumble through Thursday afternoon. And yeah, we'll see a little bit of snow on the back edge of this to make things slick. But overall, the big theme is going to be we go from the rain to temperatures tumbling. We're talking another 20-degree temperature drop, Tom and Amy, from Thursday morning to Friday morning. And so things are going to turn icy yet again.
Get ready for that. Get the salt out.
Stay tuned. All right. Thanks so much, Ryan.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan.
Well, Nova Scotia seafood exports far exceeded a goal to double in value, a goal that was set 10 years ago in the Ivany Report, a blueprint to grow the province's economy. A decade later, fishery and agriculture exports stand out in an assessment where Nova Scotia has met and failed to meet 19 targets. As Paul Withers reports, it's the result of good luck and good management.
Fisheries have driven the growth of Nova Scotia food exports, up 168% in the decade ending 2022. Lobster leading the way. Exports tripled to $1.3 billion that year. Landings and prices have soared, fueled by a favorable exchange rate and new markets like China.
You know, the challenge that we had in the early 2010s was the increasing volume of lobster being available and a lack of market. And you know, the maritime provinces, you know, collectively really put a push on promoting those products in Asia.
Nova Scotia seafood exports to China went from $25 million in 2007 to $666 million in 2021. Almost all of that was lobster, and it was no coincidence.
Thank you for choosing the best lobster in the world, Nova Scotia lobster.
Promotions and trade missions helped open the market.
I've certainly helped you know, take that excess lobster and increase demand for lobster overall and boosted prices. So, you know, market promotion works.
Other Nova Scotia fisheries have seen export values surge. Snow crab and scallops more than doubled. Shrimp nearly did. Halibut exports quadrupled in the decade. Of course, factors outside the control of government or industry contributed to the growth, especially the favorable exchange rate. The seafood industry works in Canadian dollars and is often paid in U.S. funds, and seafood moved through Halifax originating in other provinces is counted as a Nova Scotia export, further sweetening the picture.
There was a 31% gain in exchange rate and a 16% gain in volume. So if you deduct those from the per pound export value, it's really only a 50 or 60% gain in value, not a 100% gain, which was the target.
Norsworthy says there's room for improvement in product quality and cooperation between fishermen and processors on shore, goals supported in the Ivany report, but not yet fully met. Still, he says the outlook remains positive. Paul Withers, CBC News, Halifax.
Nova Scotia's Department of Labour says a worker has died aboard a Clearwater Seafoods vessel in Mulgrave. Clearwater notified the department of the incident on Thursday of last week. The department says a stop work order is in place and occupational health and safety officers are investigating. A statement from the company says the Anne Risley was undergoing annual maintenance refits in Mulgrave at the time of the incident. No further details were released. And this is the second workplace death reported in Nova Scotia recently. A week ago, a worker at Irving's Halifax shipyard died after he was struck by a piece of equipment. That incident is also under investigation.
There were a number of events in Nova Scotia this past weekend to mark the second anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. More than 100 people showed up to this rally in downtown Halifax on Sunday. One of the rally's organizers says it's painful to acknowledge 2 years of war in her home country.
Lots of people who gathered today are actually displaced people who came to Halifax in the last 2 years. So it's very important for us to come together and basically, if you symbolically speaking, to cry together on this day.
This weekend, the Canadian government announced a $3 billion aid package for Ukraine.
Well, a Bedford family has had their stolen car returned to them thanks to Facebook friends and bright orange rims. The car was stolen from a parking lot in Bayers Lake on February 16th.
But after the family posted on their Facebook page asking people to keep an eye out for their uniquely colored car, the tips came in fast. They spoke to the CBC's Anjali Patil.
David called me around 3-ish, I think, and all I could think was, I can't believe someone stole our car. I can't believe someone stole our car. He said to me, the cops want to know the license plate because I don't remember it. So then I started searching for photos that would have his license plate. And the first thing I thought about is when he had posted that he had painted the wheels and there was a photo there with the license plate and our daughters in the car. As I was sending him the photo, I was like, I wonder if I should put this on our Facebook page, Nova Scotia's Wandering Wilsons. Maybe someone will see it. We have a really great community of people that follow us. And so I posted it there and I said, look, guys, someone stole David's going to work car. It's not a new car. It's a Ford, but David is a Ford guy, comes from a Ford family. Like it doesn't mean anything to probably anybody, but if you see it, can you please let us know? Within 10 minutes of me posting it, the manager from the gas station in River John said that car just stole $100 in gas, and he had the screenshot of our car. He says, we called the police in Truro for that person hours ago. And then after we shared that, I got an email from the Pictou police saying they're looking for the guy. And I'm like, okay. And then after that, it just kept going for hours. People saying, I saw that car in Elvesdale. I saw that car in Millbrook. I saw it in Truro. I saw it in Masstown. That car almost hit me coming out of the gas station in Truro.
It's funny how, emotions, I was mad to begin with, but then when all the interaction, I became more invested in and where's the car now? It was almost like it was like a game. Where's Waldo? Where's my car now? I kind of forgot about being mad that it was stolen, and I was having fun with all
our
this interaction
community,
with everybody.
like our community, right? Anyhow, the next morning, someone messaged us and said, I'm on a snowboarding trip in Cape Breton and I see your car. And I'm like, really? She's like, yes. And I said, where is it? She said, it's in Waikagama. So we call the RCMP in Waikagama. It says, you know what? I think we're going to send someone over right now. Maybe half an hour later, a police officer calls and she says, is your car this, orange rims, blah, blah, blah. And I said, yes. And then she's quickly said, I gotta go. 1 minute later, she calls back and says, what's the code for your car? And I said, no, I gave her the code. And then she says, I gotta go. But she forgot to hang the phone up. So while I can hear her kind of tussling, and then I hear her pressing the code into the car, I hear the door unlock, and then she goes, get out of the car, you're under arrest. And the guy is still inside of the car. He's sleeping in the car, okay? And he gets up and he goes, what? I didn't do anything wrong.
Wow.
So anyhow, they arrest him, and and then she says, look, you know, we found your car, you got to come pick it up. So we went, we got the car, picked it up, checked it over. The guy had left some items in it, quilts and blankets and some other items. So as we're going over the causeway, I'm driving our SUV, he's driving his car, and I'm getting personal Facebook messages popping up saying, hey, I'm in Canso, Cape Breton. Your car just passed me. And I took a couple videos of it. And I'm like, it's my husband driving the car. We found it. So even as we were coming back home, we're getting messages in our Facebook page. I see your car. It's in Antigonish. I see your car. It's heading past Pictou. It was just the funniest, most really warm-hearted feeling to know how people had pulled together to find our car for us.
Love a story with a happy ending.
I know, the car had quite an adventure, huh?
Yeah, people really
It's
pulling
famous.
together, that's for sure.
That is true.
All right, thanks for that, Angelique. On our way to our first quick break. Stay with us.
Yes, we have a lot more to come on CBC Nova Scotia News. Prime Minister Trudeau is in Poland today after this weekend's visit to Ukraine as he reaffirms Canada's support for the embattled country.
And Air Canada says it doesn't have to compensate a passenger for a cell phone they lost on one of their flights, even though an employee found it.
And we've got Ryan back next with his full weather forecast. We'll see you in a bit.
little hard to dress this weekend. You had the extreme cold clothing, and then you had, the sun's out, isn't it a nice day? Let's
and
go
you need
for a
your
walk.
cleats now and then.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, the parka, the umbrella early on in the weekend. Let's have a look first at the precipitation amounts. Forecast played out pretty well, a little more in the east. We're talking about the potential for widespread kind of 30 to 50 for central and eastern areas with localized totals above 50. And you can see we certainly did see that in some areas, Guysborough and especially Victoria County. That's where we saw the most localized flooding. It was in Victoria County up to 85 millimeters. And I have those areas in pink because there was some snow involved in those precipitation totals as well. Despite that, snow on the ground remains pretty significant in through the east. Note the lack of snow through New Brunswick and also across southwestern parts of Nova Scotia, Digby, Yarmouth, Shelburne counties, the South Shore. And then the satellite shot from yesterday really shows it quite nicely. You can see in New Brunswick, really not much snow at all there, especially along that Fundy coastline. Down into southwest Nova Scotia, you can see the green peeking through there. And then it gets whiter and whiter as you work your way towards the north. And note that little bit of ice between PEI and Nova Scotia. There's a little bit of ice there, but for the most part, the Gulf is ice-free again. How many winters in a row now has that been?
Yeah, that's right.
Really, I think since 2015. And the areas in red here are where there should be ice normally based on the climate average and where there aren't. So another big ice, lack of ice year there in the Gulf of St. Lawrence. And I mean, we're already at the end of February, so that's not going to change anytime soon. As we look at the weather systems at play here, you can see a few flurries mixed with a few showers coming across New Brunswick. And yeah, we will see likely a few showers even mixing in for us this evening as that does sail through before the temperatures drop tonight. And then we've got our next system coming in. And boy, this one is really tapping into the warm air. In fact, we could see temperatures nearing 37 or 38 degrees in Texas by the time we get to Wednesday, by the looks of things here, as this front starts to push through. Even tomorrow afternoon, not out of the question, as this is very warm air. You can see already 31 in Oklahoma, minus 20 in Edmonton. And so this is really going to promote some severe weather when you get the cold and the warm air doing battle across the U.S. plains over the next couple of days. And then this same system will move some pretty significant weather in for us. Temperatures tonight ranging from around -3 to -6 in most cases. Couple of pockets in the -7 to -8 range, particularly in through the north and east. Now, as we look at the timeline here, there are a few showers mixed with a few flurries this evening. Note that as we turn the page into tomorrow, generally a mix of sun and cloud for Cape Breton and mostly sunny skies. I think we'll see some periods of clouds, no question, across the mainland. But overall, I think the sun will dominate more than the cloud, and we'll see those southerly winds on the increase. That'll bump our temperatures up into the 4 or 5 degree range for Cape Breton tomorrow. We'll see those temperatures in the 6-7 degree range for the Northumberland and Eastern Shore regions for tomorrow. As I mentioned earlier, potential for the valley tomorrow to crack 10 degrees. This is our best chance, no question. 8-9 degrees at the very least for the Fundy, for the valley region rather tomorrow. 4 to 8 degrees for the South Shore, coolest in those onshore winds. It's the time of year, right? The water's now cooler, and so we will see Halifax right around 5 or 6 degrees. Double digits Wednesday, looking quite likely. As I said, this is a warmer air mass than the last time around. And as we look at the outlook here, you can see showers increasing through Wednesday, steadier periods of rain Wednesday night into Thursday morning, and then it's cold front time. We go from gusty southerly winds to westerly winds. Temperatures will tumble in a hurry. And so, yeah, by Thursday morning, near double digits when we wake up. And then watch the timeline here. Thursday afternoon, dropping below the freezing mark. Everybody below the freezing mark on Thursday evening after the wet weather. And so, yeah, icy conditions are yet again going to be a risk for Thursday afternoon as those temperatures rapidly fall and will drop 20 degrees from Thursday morning to Friday morning, more than 20 degrees in some cases. And again, rainfall, last time around it was the east. This time around it looks like the best chances for 30 to 50 millimeters and amounts exceeding 50 in through the south and west of the province. So I think the bullseye is going to be different this time around, but still significant rainfall nonetheless. Temperatures free fall through Thursday, and yeah, March will welcome with some cooler temperatures Friday and then temperatures warming again for this weekend as March really gets cooking into the weekend.
Cooking for sure. Okay, thanks so much, Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
Well, up next, I'll talk with the North End Community Health Centre about efforts to meet the health needs of those being evicted from the tent encampments. That's our newsmaker interview.
Please stay with us. You're watching CBC Nova Scotia News.
This is eviction day for some of the tent encampments in HRM. The city imposed the deadline earlier this month. Several tenters remain as community support service providers continue to try to meet the needs of those being told to leave. Marie-France LeBlanc is president and CEO of the North End Community Health Centre. Ms. LeBlanc, your organization providing support as always, but also during this eviction phase. Can you tell the audience what kind of services those are?
Well, Dom, the North End Community Health Center has been around for 52 years and our services have expanded over those years, but we've always maintained exactly the same thing, which is that we provide the services where they're needed. So as an organization, we'll continue to provide health supports to those experiencing homelessness, whether they're in an encampment or not. So we have our regular schedule that we're maintaining, but over the next couple of days, we're going to be kind of circling around the various encampments that are being closed to make sure that those residents, as they're moving on, make contact with us and let us know what they need and where they're planning to be so that we can continue to provide them the supports that they need.
And so if they move on to a shelter or perhaps even another tent somewhere, your staff will still be there for them, or will be able to follow them?
Absolutely. I mean, MOSH, our Mobile Outreach Street Health, provides parking lot clinics in a variety of areas, including one of the shelters. We have services in the Bridge, which is another shelter as well. Our van does parking lot clinic in our location on Gottingen Street, as well as we have our clinic where people can physically come in if they need it. But one of the things that we want to make sure is that everybody who has been living in encampments and are used to us showing up at the encampments knows that our services aren't going to end just because those encampments are no longer going to be in place. We want to make sure that everyone knows where we are and how to reach out to us. So we've made our presence known a little bit more today and tomorrow to make sure that they're aware of that.
Yeah, so it's about getting the word out there, I suppose. But to be clear, you don't have available housing to send people to, though, right?
We don't right now. All of our housing is pretty much full. And of course, we all use the by name list in order to place people in the housing that we do have. So when we do have an availability, we go through the by name list and make sure that the criteria fit, because we have various supportive housing that is appropriate for different people. Our overlook housing is very different than some of our other housing. All of it is supported, but we want to make sure that the right people are placed in the right places. Similarly, those that are moving from the encampments are on this list, and they are being relocated if they want to be relocated to the appropriate place that that would make sense for them.
Yeah, I know, and the day is not over yet, of course, but what are your people telling you about how this day has been going at the encampments where those evictions are happening?
Well, for us, we have been in contact with the people that we support that happen to live there. And we've spoken to them and feel very good about what our conversations with them leading up to this. I haven't spoken to anyone who is supporting someone in an encampment today. My MOSH team has been out and about and connecting with people. So really for us, it's business as usual in the sense that we are continuing to provide the services that we've always provided to our clients and our patients.
I know the city and others would like people to go to the actual shelters that are in place. Some may decide, as you suggest, not to go there, go to a tent. Does it make any difference? Is it any more difficult for your team to provide those services? You know, if they were to say be in a tent someplace as opposed to a shelter?
The Mobile Outreach Street Health was born from providing supports to people to where they are. So for us, we always go to where the people in need are. 20 years ago or 15 years ago when we started, we had a little red Sienna van that would just go and look under in parking lots or wherever people were. We will provide the service wherever it is. Of course, we are advocates for having appropriate housing for everyone. That is what our goal is. But until we get to that point, our services will always be available to anyone who needs them.
Okay, just finally before I let you go, and I know you're not a part of the eviction process per se. You're not moving people out, but you were around when the Spring Garden Road eviction happened a few years ago. How are you feeling about how this one is being handled at this point from the expertise that you bring to it?
Well, you know what? I really can't say right now because we're just in the day of doing it. I can just keep saying what I've been saying is that we want to make sure that everybody gets the appropriate housing. And the encampments weren't necessarily appropriate for everyone. And understanding that people need to move on because the encampments will no longer be there. Our focus and our goal right now is to make sure that everybody that we support, and even those that we don't support, that everyone gets an appropriate location for them so that they can feel safe and they can get the supports that they need.
Good to get your thoughts on this today. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Tom.
Coming up, the federal government has tabled the online harms bill, which would create a new regulator to hold online platforms accountable for harmful content they host.
Welcome back. The federal government has introduced a new bill to tackle online abuse.
The legislation is meant to protect children from bullying, exploitation, hatred, and violence on the internet. The CBC's Rafi Boudjikanian has the details.
The Liberals are clearly hoping to make a statement with this legislation. They had been telegraphing last week, as Parliament was on an off week, that it would be the first piece they presented upon their return, and that's what's now happened. The legislation does propose a lot, chiefly in the goal of reducing harmful content to Canadian internet users, specifically children, minors. And it defines harmful content in 7 different categories. Some of those do focus on children, such as content that sexually victimizes a child. But their categories are broader. Some of them include content that foments hatred. And to enforce all this, the government would create a new regulator, the Digital Safety Commission, think like the CRTC, but for the internet, when it comes to 2 specific categories, content that sexually victimizes a child or intimate content that's shared without someone's consent. The commission would actually have the ability to go to online platforms and tell them you need to take this down within 24 hours.
As someone who represents, as we all do, parents who speak to us all the time about these dangers and how they apprehend and how they watch their children sometimes go through horrible experiences online, I think any responsible government has to act.
This is not the government's first try at acting either. It initially proposed similar legislation before the last election, then promised it would reintroduce it during the campaign, but it took several rounds of consultations with community groups, with experts to get to this point, the NDP pointing to that delay.
They finally announced steps to move forward on online harm. They promised to do so 100 days after the election. Now we're at almost 800 days. Their inaction has meant that kids were harmed, that kids actually were exploited.
The Conservatives, meanwhile, have already said they look at this legislation as Justin Trudeau's latest attack on freedom of expression, and they plan to fight its passing. Rafi Boudjikanian on CBC News, Ottawa.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is in Poland following a weekend visit to Ukraine. He's meeting with Polish officials to discuss ongoing support for Ukraine in its war with Russia. Trudeau is also defending Canada's military spending and support for NATO. The CBC's Evan Dyer has the latest.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau met with both Poland's Prime Minister and its President today, political foes on many issues, but united on one, determination to resist Russian aggression, whether against Ukraine or against their own country. Within the next couple of years or even months, we have to reach defense capacities regarding production of all kinds of weapons that will really exceed the Russian capacities. Otherwise, Europe will be subject to Russian aggression. Poland is arming itself at a faster rate than any other country in NATO. It spends over 4% of its GDP on defense, about 3 times the proportion of Canada. And its defense minister has said that if Poland feels the Russian threat is getting worse, it's ready to double that number.
Since we took office in 2015, we've made commitments to increase our defense spending by 70%.
But Canada is still only at about 1.3% of GDP. It's tried to make up for that by focusing on the kind of spending allies notice.
We continue to support and appreciate the many additional commitments to defense and defense spending and defense preparedness that Canada has made.
But Cohen says those projects don't make up for the underlying issue. Canada spends less than its major allies.
I don't think Canada has any interest in being that kind of an outlier in NATO.
But the pressure on Trudeau is coming from allies, not from the opposition at home. The opposition leader's office says a future Poilievre government will work towards meeting Canada's NATO spending commitment of 2% of its GDP. Working towards 2% is very similar to the language the Trudeau government uses to assuage its allies. But those allies, especially here in the eastern part of NATO, increasingly want to see more than working towards. They want to know exactly when Canada is going to get there. Evan Dyer, CBC News, Warsaw.
About 160 tons of Ukrainian grain have been destroyed at a railway station in Poland. Farmers in that country have been protesting over what they see as an unfair competition between Ukrainian produce, or from Ukrainian produce rather. It is the fourth such incident in recent weeks, and the Ukraine is calling for those involved to be punished. Polish farmers have complained about surpluses caused by cheap imports. The EU waived duties on Ukrainian food imports following Russia's invasion in 2022. Protesting farmers in Poland and other European countries have been blocking border crossings and highways. They are upset with foreign competition, environmental regulations, high costs, and low prices for produce.
4 months after a Northern Ontario man with a troubled past shot and killed 4 people, including his 3 children, there are calls for police to be more proactive in dealing with domestic violence. Katie Nicholson has more.
So when I got married, there was 4. Was there a chance that things could have been handled different?
Angie Sweeney's friends spend a lot of time wondering what could have saved her life.
The cops know his history, right? We might not all know it, but the cops know the type of person they're dealing with.
Sweeney was shot by Bobby Hallert on October 23rd, just days after breaking up with him. Hallert then drove to his second home and shot another ex-partner, killed his 3 children, and then turned the gun on himself. The day before her murder, Sweeney called police to make him leave her property. Police say they had no grounds to make an arrest or hold him. But Hallert had a record of assaulting police officers and a history of intimate partner violence. Amanda Bjorna wonders if it would have made a difference if police were allowed to share that information with Sweeney.
If they came and they said, listen, we're a little bit concerned because this man has such a violent history, like we're concerned for you too at this point, we need you to get to safety, it might snap a little bit more in that woman's mind, right?
The Ontario government says it's looking at legislation that would allow police to disclose someone's history of domestic violence to current partners, something known as Clare's Law, which has been brought in 4 other provinces. Until that happens, the Sault Ste. Marie police chief is looking for a workaround.
We need to think outside the criminal code and use more intuitive, proactive approaches to say, what can we do for this victim?
His force is looking at whether officers could connect women at addresses where there have been a number of domestic-type calls with victim services resources, even if no charges were laid.
It may, in fact, be you need a safety plan and you need to get to a shelter. We suggest you do it now. We'll help you do that. Would it have helped in this situation? I don't know. My gut is it would.
Hoping to push for even more change, Sweeney's friends and family formally requested an inquest on Friday. Katie Nicholson, CBC News, Sault Ste. Marie.
Air Canada has decided it doesn't have to compensate a passenger for a cell phone it appears to have lost. The passenger misplaced the phone, but it was found and turned into the airline by an Air Canada employee. Carolyn Dunn with the CBC's Go Public unit has the story.
I was hoping that my mobile tracker will save me by finding my device.
Olu Awase was trying every trick he knew to help find his lost phone. Last October, the Edmonton man accidentally dropped his 3-month-old pricey Samsung phone before his family boarded a flight from Toronto to Edmonton. Once home, Awase opened a security app called Bitdefender. It alerted him that someone had tried to unlock his phone, and to his surprise, an Air Canada employee in full uniform was staring back at him, or obscuring his identity. At first, Awase was relieved.
I think I'm in good hands. If it's an employee of an Air Canada that found it, then I'm okay.
Air Canada emailed him to say it had identified the individual in the picture you provided and conducted an interview with them. And the employee and an eyewitness reported the phone was returned to the lost and found area, specifically at the Air Canada customer service desk. After that, the airline lost track of the phone, and that email would be the last time Air Canada would correspond with Awase. After weeks of online chats and emails with the airline, Awase is no closer to getting his phone back.
So that made me believe this was a case of a theft.
In a statement to Go Public, the airline said Air Canada did not have responsibility for this phone, as it is a personal item.
Finders keepers, losers weepers. That's not an accurate summation of the law.
But this civil lawyer says Air Canada is likely liable.
When someone comes into possession of someone else's property and that person's identification is known, they do have obligations to return that property.
Olu Awase is not giving up. He's lodged a police complaint and hired a lawyer, hoping Air Canada will pony up the approximately $2,000 he owes on his lost phones contract. Carolyn Dunn, CBC News, Calgary.
For news you can trust, we have the latest on what's happening in your community and a weather forecast you can rely on no matter where you are in Atlantic Canada. I'm Amy Smith.
And I'm Ryan Snoddon.
Join us for Atlantic Tonight.
Right after the National.
The sun was so nice, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, you were having trouble with your outfits this weekend, sounds like.
Well, it was a complicated weekend for that, don't you think?
It was.
And it's going to be a complicated week, especially Thursday when we're going to wake up. It's going to be double digits, and then temperatures are going to plummet again throughout the day. Very similar setup to what we had on Saturday.
I'm just going to be complicated all week?
Yeah,
okay,
for sure. Though overall, the trend is certainly a mild one over the next 7 days. Thanks so much. As we look at our viewer picture of the day, and this one we're going to zoom in on Richmond County and, of course, beautiful Cape Breton and Lordways. Beautiful shot here of,
nice.
a nice sunset
That
there.
is pretty.
The lighting from the, what is it, a car light
The
there?
vehicle,
Yeah,
and then the
really
sun
cool.
setting.
Definitely nice. Thanks to Renee for sharing this. Ryan's picks at cbc.ca. 4 degrees across Cape Breton tomorrow. Looks like the mainland will range from around 6, 7 to 8 degrees. Southwest winds, 20 gusting 30 to 40. Wednesday, it will certainly be breezier. I think the strongest winds will be kind of Wednesday night into early Thursday morning, just ahead of the cold front. 8 to 11, 12 degrees for Wednesday, so very mild. And in terms of the precipitation, it does look like it'll be showers for the most part on Wednesday, and then Wednesday afternoon into Wednesday evening will turn into those steadier periods of rain, which will continue into early Thursday. There's our cold front. Note the winds, the arrows going from southerly to then westerly, and that will usher in the cooler temps. Will tumble throughout the day. Maybe a brief flurry on the backside, but not as much snow as the last system brought. But then we will see, of course, temperatures in free fall, and we'll basically drop 20 degrees or 25 degrees from Thursday morning to Friday morning, and then recover back to high single digits on the weekend.
Some weather whiplash.
Up and down. Okay, thanks so much, Ryan. Gonna love this, by the way. Giant panda on the end of the show tonight.
Nice.
A cub in China has been dazzling spectators with its gymnastic skills.
Workers at the conservation facility kept a close eye on the aspiring athlete as it moved along a high wooden beam using only its arms.
Okay, impressive. Certainly impressed visitors recorded the bear's every move.
Now, the cub was born last year at a research center in southwestern China.
The facility is known for protecting and breeding giant pandas, red pandas, and other endangered animals.
Very capable, doing a
He's
great job
having a
there.
great time.
Hang in there. That's it for us tonight. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
Good night.